Hello, incredible minds, no matter your age. Whether you're 50, 60, or 70, one profound truth remains eternally relevant. Either money works for you or you work for money. Now, consider this sobering statistic. Today, 7 out of 10 Americans of retirement age rely on Social Security as their primary source of income. This stark reality didn't have to be. It could have been vastly different if they had understood what I'm about to share with you. Financial freedom isn't a privilege reserved for the young or the chosen few. It is a skill. It is a strategy. It is discipline. And most importantly, it is a decision. In this video, I'm going to share 7 proven strategies that not only brought me profound peace during turbulent times, but also gave me genuine power over my life. These strategies work regardless of your age or where you're starting from. And guess what? The best part is yet to come. Together, we're going to develop a personal, practical financial plan for your week. Yes, with specific actions you can start taking today. But right now, I want you to reflect on a simple question. Do you control your money, or does it control you? When I was young, I believed the most important thing in life was to secure a good job, a stable one, with health insurance and a pension plan. And honestly, many of us live that way. 40 years at work, 40 hours a week, only to end up with 40% of an income that was never quite enough to begin with. All of it, in the hope of a peaceful retirement. But here's the truth that was revealed to me when I was 25. It doesn't matter how much you earn asterisk, what truly matters is what you do with it. I vividly recall my first meeting with Lucas, my mentor. He looked at my precarious financial situation and simply asked, "Michael, have you ever saved even 10 cents from every dollar you've earned?" I confessed, "No, Lucas, I haven't." He just smiled and said, "That's exactly where we'll start." That was the first principle. Learn to manage even a little if you ever wish to have more. At 25, I was completely broke, drowning in debt, with no clear prospects or plan. But from the moment I began learning financial literacy, not from dry textbooks, but from a deeper philosophy of life, everything started to shift. Not overnight, but steadily over time, because wealth doesn't appear by accident. Wealth is the direct result of the right habits and the right mindset. Do you see the paradox? Many people mistakenly believe financial well-being is solely about income. If only I earned more, they often lament. But no, true financial well-being is a matter of decisions, a matter of unwavering discipline, a matter of long-term thinking. You could inherit $1 million today and lose it all within a year. Or you could have a modest income and, through conscious effort, build a lasting legacy. I've met individuals who earned very little yet achieved profound financial freedom. Why? They consistently lived below their means. They invested relentlessly in knowledge. They resisted the siren call of instant gratification. They built their financial future brick by painstaking brick. And I assure you, you can do the same. Your age is irrelevant. What matters is the decision you make today. One man once told me, "Michael, I'm already 60. It's too late to start." And my reply to him, as it is to you now, was, "When is the best time to plant a tree?" 20 years ago, and the next best time. Today, because today is always a new start. It's a fresh chance. It's a moment of truth if you take responsibility. For your money today, you can transform not only your financial future, but your entire inner state, from fear to confidence, from lack to abundance, from uncertainty to profound wisdom. The 7 strategies we're about to explore are not just theoretical tips from books. They are principles I've lived by and witnessed transforming the lives of thousands. Each one begins with a simple, yet profound question. Are you the master of your finances or merely a guest in your own bank account? Remember, money is an excellent servant, but a very dangerous master. Learn to manage it, and it will serve you for life. Fail to do so, and you will serve it day by day, paycheck by paycheck. And that is simply not the life you are meant to live right now. This is the moment to grab a notebook and a pen, because we're not just going to talk about financial freedom. We are going to create an actionable strategy for you by the end of this video. Not just theory, but a clear, practical plan. And I want you to be ready. Let's dive into the first strategy, the one my mentor first explained to me. Strategy number 1. Live on 70% of your income. This habit became my foundational starting point. It's simple, yet immensely powerful. At the time, I was earning very little and thought, I'm barely getting by as it is. How can I possibly save anything? But Lucas said, Michael, if you can't live on 90% of your income, you won't be able to live on 1,000% either. That was a shock, and it was undeniably true. Financial management is fundamentally a matter of self-discipline, not complex math. When you start keeping 70% for yourself and consciously dividing the rest, 10% for education, 10% for investments, and 10% for charity, something remarkable happens. Not only does order enter your financial life, but so does deep self-respect. You no longer spend every dollar as if it's your last. You begin to think like a builder, not merely a consumer. You lay a solid foundation. So, 70% for living, 10% for investing in yourself, books, courses, and knowledge, and 10% for capital that works for you, and another 10% for charity. Because once you learn the profound act of giving, you open a powerful channel to receive. This isn't just a financial strategy. It's a profound life philosophy. Strategy number 2, save and grow. Make your money work. Don't just stash money under a mattress. Grow it. Money needs to work. If it's not working, it's not money, it's just paper. I've always said it doesn't matter how much you save. What truly matters is how disciplined you are about it. Because discipline is the vital bridge between your goals and your results. I remember once I was late on a bill payment. It wasn't a large bill, but the feeling of being controlled by it hit me so hard that I declared, enough, from now on. I manage money, not the other way around. And so I started saving not when something was left over, but automatically, systematically, as soon as I received any income. Because you know what's best about automatic saving. It's non-negotiable. You just do it, like brushing your teeth. No discussion. Strategy number 3, study money like your life depends on it, because it does. In school, they didn't teach us what compound interest is. They didn't teach us that a credit card is not real money. They didn't teach us that the greatest enemy of financial freedom isn't a lack of money. It's a profound lack of knowledge, but here's the liberating truth. You can learn at any age. Today, it doesn't matter if you're 50, 60, or 80. What matters is your willingness to learn. I started reading everything I could find about money, about investing, about taxes, insurance, and how truly wealthy people think. Not to become a financial expert, but to stop being a financial victim. And I recommend the same to you. One new lesson per week, one financial term, one core principle. These are simple things, but they change everything, as my mentor used to say. One of the worst conditions isn't poverty. It's financial helplessness. That's where the real power lies. You can take responsibility for your financial state right now. You can learn, you can change, and when you change, everything around you changes. Your decisions become sharper, your spending wiser, and your opportunities greater. Why? Because you no longer react, you lead. Ask yourself this: if every dollar were a worker, would you hire it to work diligently for you, or would you let it slack off, get wasted on trivialities, impulsive buys, and mindless entertainment? Or would you give it a clear task, a powerful purpose, a well-defined plan? You see, money is like an army. It's either disciplined and effective, or it rebels and dissipates. And you are the commander-in-chief : so the first 3 steps are simple but absolutely defining. Live on less than you earn. Save and grow what you have, and learn something new about finance every single week. That's the path. That's the beginning of freedom. And one more thing, start today. Not on Monday, not after the next pension recalculation. Today, grab a pen and write this down. What is your monthly income? How much is 70% of it? How much is 10%? Then take action, because without action, there is no result. As I love to say, it's better to start small than not to start at all. Strategy number 4, plan your money before it leaves you. This one is a true game changer. I remember the moment I finally learned how to create a monthly financial plan, and it wasn't some complicated 10-page budget. It was a simple list: income, expenses, remainder, and most importantly, a purpose. Where will every dollar go? Because if you don't tell it where to go, it will find its own way to disappear. Financial freedom doesn't begin with a big inheritance or a lottery win. It begins with a notebook, a pen, and a consistent habit. Before a new month began, I would sit down and write. Here's what's coming in. Here's where it's going. And here's what I'm investing. It was my way of telling money I'm in charge. Now, you may ask, what if my income is unstable? The answer is simple. Plan even for the unstable, because as I always say, a bad plan is better than no plan at all. An unstable income isn't an excuse. It's a call for even greater responsibility. Make a minimal projection, determine a survival baseline, and work with it. And when more comes in, don't spend it immediately. Make the surplus work for you. Everything that goes unplanned sinks into emotions. Think about it. How many times have you made a spontaneous purchase and regretted it later? That's not a financial decision. That's an emotional reaction. But the moment you start planning, you begin acting based on goals, not impulses. That, my friends, is financial maturity strategy number 5. Create assets. Don't just save money. This is one of my absolute favorites. Create assets, not just savings, because money by itself doesn't give you freedom. It must be turned into something that works without you. My entire life, I've taught, don't work just for money. Make money work for you. And here's the common trap. Many think, well, I'm not an investor. I don't have enough to buy or invest in anything. But an asset isn't always about stocks or real estate. An asset is anything that brings you income or value over time. Skills can be an asset. A small business can be an asset. Even a well-written book that's read for years is an asset. I started by buying books and turning them into knowledge. Knowledge led to ideas, and ideas led to products. Then I learned to invest in teaching others. Teaching created workshops. Workshops created income. Income became capital. And that capital, in turn, created more assets. That's the cycle of true power. You can start simple, one step, and you're in the game. Think, what skill do you already possess that can be turned into income? What do you know? What do you own? Who needs your experience? How can you create an additional stream of income? See, at an older age, you possess a tremendous advantage: experience. And if you learn to structure that experience, it becomes an invaluable asset. Now, one of my favorite quotes: rich people look for opportunities. Poor people look for excuses. I know that may sound harsh, but it's often the truth. While one person says, I'm too old to start a new business, another opens a thriving online store from home. While one person puts $50 in an envelope and calls it saving, another invests that same $50 in a book that changes their mindset and helps them earn thousands. The difference isn't in age. The difference is in mindset. And one more crucial point, don't be afraid to lose. Many people fear investing because there's inherent risk. But remember, the biggest risk is doing nothing at all. Inflation relentlessly eats away at your savings. Life inevitably gets more expensive. And if your money isn't growing, you're actually losing purchasing power. So, smart, calculated risk isn't a problem. It's a required part of growth. So, what do we have so far? We're not just saving anymore, we're planning. We're not just cutting expenses, we're actively creating assets. We're not waiting for miracles, we're building our own financial foundation, brick by brick. And that is the path to true stability. Look at your current situation. Think, what among what you already have could become an asset? Maybe you have a spare room that could generate income. Maybe you have free time, and you could teach others what you know. Don't limit yourself to traditional paths. Wealth is born from creativity. It's a strategy. And it's the constant question, how can I turn my time and knowledge into income? Remember, it's not about how much you have right now. It's about what you do with it. Strategy number 6. Keep personal financial records. This strategy transforms not just your money, but your entire relationship with yourself. Let me tell you plainly, if you don't track your finances, you are not in control of your life, period. There was a time I lived by feel. It seemed like I still had money as long as I could buy a coffee. But that's not a financial decision. It's a blind reaction. My mentor asked me, Michael, how much did you spend on food last month? I said, I don't know, but I don't think it was much. He simply smiled and said, show me the numbers. And that's when I realized I think means I don't know, and I don't know means I'm not in control. Since that day, I started writing everything down. First in a notebook, then on simple cards, and later in a basic spreadsheet. And something profound changed, not in the money itself, but in me. I started seeing exactly where my unnoticed expenses were going. I saw how much I actually earned and how much I spent on things that truly didn't matter. And most importantly, I felt in control again. And from control comes an incredible sense of peace. Tracking is your financial consciousness. It's a mirror you may not always enjoy looking into, but in it lies the unvarnished truth. And that truth makes you stronger. So, my advice to you is simple. Grab a notebook or open a digital file and start today. Write down how much money came in this month. How much went out? Where did it go? What's left? And most importantly, what does that tell you about your habits? Because money doesn't lie. It clearly shows what you truly value. You might say personal growth is important, but if your records show $0 spent on books and $300 on cafes, the reality is different. That's why tracking isn't just about controlling expenses. It's about being profoundly conscious of your life strategy. Number 7. Think in terms of legacy, the final and deepest strategy. Instead of asking, how much will I earn? Ask yourself a different, more powerful question. What will I leave behind? Financial well-being isn't just about a comfortable retirement. It's about the lasting mark you leave. What kind of money culture are you passing on to your children? What spending philosophy do your grandchildren see in you? What saving, investing, and responsibility habits will they inherit, or sadly not inherit? I know many people think, I don't have much to leave behind, but you don't have to leave. Just a bank account. You can leave a system, a powerful example, a timeless principle. If your kids know you always lived responsibly, invested in knowledge, avoided debt, and thought strategically, they've already inherited something immensely powerful. And that legacy will last longer than any check. I remember a story about an older man, a simple farmer. He didn't have a large estate, but he meticulously kept records, journals spanning decades. He tracked harvests, expenses, profits. And when his children saw this, they saw a system. They saw that their father wasn't just a laborer, but a thinker, a planner, an entrepreneur. And that profound legacy changed their lives forever. Think big. Not just, how do I get through this month? But how do I build a philosophy that will outlive me? As I once said, success isn't what you get. It's who you become. And when you become a financially responsible person, you become an undeniable example. And that, my friends, is worth more than any amount of money. True wealth isn't just in the bank. It's in the heart, in unwavering discipline, in profound wisdom, in the ability to say, I didn't just spend, I created. I didn't just consume, I built. I didn't just live. I left a path for others to follow, and you know the best part. It doesn't take millions, it takes decisions. Small, daily, consistent ones, to calculate, to save, to preserve, to give, to teach. That's the powerful formula. So let's draw the line. We've walked through 7 potent strategies, from expense control to meticulous planning, from investing in yourself to building enduring assets, from daily habits to a timeless legacy. And now I want you to take one more critical step. Apply them, because knowledge without action is just intellect, but knowledge with action is ultimate power. And now, it's truly time for action. You know what separates those who just listen from those who genuinely transform their lives? Reflection and decision. You can watch hundreds of videos and read dozens of books and still remain exactly where you are. Or you can pause right now, look in the mirror, and honestly ask, where am I right now? And what am I truly ready to change? I invite you to do exactly that. Right now, find a quiet moment. Grab a notebook, a sheet of paper, or even your phone, and allow yourself an honest conversation with yourself. We'll go through a short assessment minus 10 areas of your financial life, each with a simple question. Your task: rate yourself from 1 to 10. Remember, 1 means I completely fail at this, and 10 means I do this consistently and confidently. This isn't a score from someone else. It's not criticism. It's your personal financial mirror. And it will help you see precisely where your strength lies and where you need a focused plan. Write down your ratings, just in a row. For example, 7, 5, 2, 4, 8. Don't strive for perfection. Strive for brutal honesty. Because honesty is always the first, most powerful step to change. Here we go. Rate yourself on these 10 areas. How confidently do you manage your monthly expenses? How regularly? Do you automatically set aside part of your income without overthinking it? How often do you invest in your financial literacy? How clearly do you understand where your money goes each week? How detailed is your income and expense plan for the month? Do you have at least one asset that brings income independently of your job? Do you have an emergency fund? At least enough for 3 months of living expenses? How free are you from debt and credit obligations? How often do you talk openly and calmly about money with your family? How confident are you that you are passing on a robust financial culture to the next generation? Now, look at your list. Which area has the lowest score? That, my friend, is your weakest point, but also your greatest opportunity. Because by changing that one area, you can positively impact your entire financial system, like a mechanism. If one gear doesn't work, everything stops. But if you fix it, the whole thing starts to move powerfully forward. So, here's your assignment for the week. Focus intensely on that one area with the lowest score and make a simple, actionable plan. For example, if it's tracking expenses, commit to writing down every single purchase each evening. If it's investing in yourself, pick one book on finance and read for 20 minutes daily. If it's saving, set up an automatic transfer of 10% from every income payment to a separate savings account. If it's talking with family, schedule an open, honest financial conversation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. I recommend writing down 3 actions you'll take daily or several times a week. Make them small but specific. It can be something as simple as check account balance or save $5 before bed. The secret is consistency, because small disciplines create monumental changes. After a week, return to this same scale. Check your scores again. Has the score changed? How do you feel? What became easier? Where did a new sense of confidence appear? Because with each such exercise, you become stronger, closer to financial freedom, and profoundly closer to your true, empowered self. And here's what I'll tell you. In this process, there is no such thing as failure. There's only movement. Or pause. If you're moving, you've already won. And so, we've reached the end of our journey together today. 7 powerful strategies that lead to profound financial well-being. 7 clear directions you can choose and turn into your new, thriving reality. Because in the end, success is not an event. It's not just a number in a bank account. It's not an accident. It's a lifestyle. It's ingrained habits. It's a guiding philosophy. And when you begin to think strategically, act with unwavering discipline, and live with a deep sense of responsibility, you're not just managing money. You're building an incredible life. I've always said you can't change the past, but you absolutely can change the path you walk from here on out. And you can do that from any point, at any age, with any beginning. All it takes is that single, powerful decision. Now, I want to ask you for one simple thing. If this video was helpful to you, if even one idea made you pause, reflect, and feel empowered, please share it. Click that like button. It might seem like a small thing, but it means we're heading in the right direction together. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do. Not just because it's content, but because here you'll find continuous support, transformative ideas, and a mindset system that helps you not only to live, but to genuinely grow, and more. Importantly, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below, sharing which of the 7 strategies resonated most with you and what specific action you will start with this week. Your words might be the spark someone else desperately needs, because as you now know, knowledge truly blossoms through action and through open dialogue. Friends, the world is changing. The economy is changing, but some things remain constant: discipline, wisdom, and responsibility. And if you cultivate these qualities, you possess the power to create any financial future you desire. I believe that, and I deeply believe in you. Remember, you are the architect. Your thoughts are the blueprint. Your actions are the tools. Your life is the grand project. And every single day is a chance to lay down another solid brick. So be bold, be consistent. Be someone who doesn't just survive in the world of money, but leads it with dignity, intelligence, and unwavering inspiration. And I'll see you in the next video. We have more work ahead and even more victories to come.